Hi everyone, my name is Sean Walker. I'm a Principal Product Success Architect here at ServiceNow. Today I'm going to be talking to you about stock rules. Stock rules can be used as part of your inventory management process to maintain your inventory levels of specific models in specific stockrooms. This feature can automatically assist your inventory managers by keeping stock levels at an optimum level and ensure that asset requests can be fulfilled quickly, which in turn keeps the requesting user happy and continuing to use the request process. The Hardware Asset Management Process Guide, which can be found on Now Create, provides a detailed overview of the stock rule process that should be implemented as part of the inventory management process within your organization. As you can see by this process flow, maintaining stock rules is just one part of a good hardware asset management process and links to several other HAM processes. This process is quite simple. It starts by having well-maintained hardware models in your instance and in your stockrooms. You should start by creating a new rule, determining if you want to restock from another stockroom or trigger a purchase order, and then establish your quantity thresholds. Quantity thresholds should be reviewed periodically to ensure you maintain enough inventory, but also not overspend on unnecessary inventory. Once rules are created, a nightly scheduled job called Stock Rule Runner runs and evaluates the stock rules against the inventory levels. It then takes the appropriate action, either creating a transfer order or a purchase request. Ensuring that each stockroom has a manager identified is key. Any email notifications or task assignments that get created as part of this process will be assigned to or sent to the stock manager. I'm now going to jump into an instance and give you a demo of stock rules. Okay, so I have launched my instance, which is a Vancouver instance, which has Hardware Asset Management Professional installed. I've navigated to the Hardware Asset Workspace, and I'm going to go and establish stock rules. So I'm going to navigate to Inventory, go to my stockrooms, and I'm going to establish stock rules for the Medicine Hat stockroom. So as I can see, I've got two different consumables in this stockroom, Microsoft Bluetooth keyboard and a Logitech desktop keyboard, both of which only have a quantity of 1. So these inventory levels are too low, so I'm going to want to establish a threshold for each one of these so we can maintain them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this model because I need to know the specific model that I want to create a stock rule for. Now I'm going to go over to Asset Operations and go to my stock rules, and I'm going to create a new stock rule. So first thing I do is specify the model that I want to create the stock rule for, in which stockroom. In this case, we were saying it was the Medicine Hat stockroom. Now I want to start out by having a threshold of always having 5 of these keyboards in stock. And here's where I get to choose which restocking option I want. So I'm going to set up 2 different stock rules for you. So the first one I'm going to pick is a stockroom, which is going to trigger a transfer order. So I have to pick where do I want the transfer order to get triggered from. And in this case, in this instance, I have order size. Sorry, the order size is 10. We're going to say we want to have 10. And then the parent stockroom is our Canada West stockroom. This is our primary stockroom, which has a whole bunch of stock of these devices. So again, specify the specific model in the specific stockroom. What's the minimum threshold I want to maintain in that stockroom? How do I want to restock it? How big is the order size? And where is it coming from? And I'm going to save this. So I've now created one new stock rule. I'm now going to go back to my asset operations and create a second rule. So we can just refresh this and we should see here that we do have, in fact, one stock rule created for the Medicine Hat stockroom. So now we're going to create the second one for the other model, which was that Logitech keyboard. So again, the model is that Logitech keyboard. In which stockroom? My Medicine Hat stockroom. What's my threshold? Again, I'm going to set it to 5. But this time I'm going to choose a vendor restocking option, which will generate a purchase order. And I want to specify how big I want the order size to be. So I'm going to set 10. And we're going to save this. So now I've gone ahead and I've created my 2 stock rules. So I'll just refresh here and we can see I now have 2 stock rules for my Medicine Hat stockroom. One is the stockroom one and one is a vendor one. So now what I'm going to have to do is nightly this job the stock rule runner would run to trigger to review the inventory levels and to see whether any of these rules match and need to have any further actions. So in this case, I'm going to have to trigger it manually to get things to move along here. So I'm going to navigate to scheduled jobs. And I'm just going to force it to go. Okay, now that that's loaded, I'm going to look for the stock rule runner job. And here it is here. And I'm going to just change the time. It's set to go at 3 o'clock in the morning, so tomorrow. So I'm going to set it to run today at 10:43, which is in a couple minutes. And then that job will run. So I'm going to pause the video now and wait for this job to run. Okay, so now my job is run. So I've navigated back to the hardware asset workspace. And if you remember, one of the jobs was going to trigger a transfer order. So we're going to go into inventory, transfer orders, and see that a new transfer order was created from Canada West to Medicine Hat. So we can take a look at this and see what the transfer order lines say. And there's my Bluetooth keyboard, quantity 10. So I can go through the normal transfer order process, which we'll probably cover in a later video, but for now I'm just going to leave this here and check to see whether our purchase request was created. So I'm going to go to Asset Operations, Procurement Requests, and I can see here that another request was created for the request for Jane Smith. Now Jane Smith is the stockroom manager, and we can see the requested items is a hardware inventory stock order. Hardware inventory stock order for Logitech keyboards, quantity 10. So now I can go through the procurement process and go through the source request and figure out what I want to do with this. Now I'm not going to take you through the source request piece and generating a purchase order. That'll be covered in a later video. But essentially that's how the stock rules work and how a purchase request or a transfer order get created. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you very much.